Nearly half the season is over for fantasy football. You're either trying to pad your lead or claw your way back into contention. I'm here to help you improve your chances. Here are my top 5 waiver pickups for week 7. These are players who are owned in 50% or less of most leagues. Number 1, Cameron Meredith, wide receiver, Chicago Bears. I told you to pick him up last week, and he went off a second time in a monster game with 11 catches for 113 yards. He has an easier matchup again this next week against Green Bay. He's clearly someone Brian Hoyer trusts, so if he's still available, go get him. Number 2, Jay Ajayi, running back for Miami Dolphins. I've always been impressed with Ajayi since his hard running days at Boise State, but his injury issues led to a difficult transition into the NFL. Sunday's display, 204 yards and 2 TDs, shows what he can do, even with Arian Foster back in the mix. Even if Foster plays more as he gets healthier, just remember, Foster is injured a lot. Number 3, Kenny Britt, wide receiver, LA Rams. The Rams quarterback, Case Keenum, is surprising people. At one point this past week, he completed 19 consecutive passes. His favorite receiver is turning out to be Kenny Britt, who had 136 yards and 2 TDs on Sunday. This isn't a one-week fluke either. He's had 75 receiving yards or more in 4 of his last 5 games. He's on pace to go over the 1,000-yard mark for the season. And next week he gets a giant squad who's in the bottom third of giving it passing yards. Number 4, James White, running back, Patriots. His value has skyrocketed since the return of Brady, and he should be worth starting going forward in PPR leagues. Since Brady's return, White has hauled in 12 passes for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. His next matchup comes against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are struggling on defense. And number 5, Hunter Henry, tight end, Chargers. He isn't going away, folks, even with Antonio Gates back. Henry led the Chargers in catches, targets, and yards in Week 6. Plus, he scored for the 3rd straight game. For a position that's hard to find good production, Henry lands in the top 5 for tight ends this year, and he's only about 1/3 owned in fantasy leagues. Down below in my written blog, I'll give you some great one-week pickups based on excellent matchups, plus a few more players who are trending up that you might want to consider. Believe it or not, fantasy football was a game designed over 50 years ago by 3 guys who stayed up all night to make up the rules to this crazy contest. It was created as a way to have fun with friends. I truly hope you are having fun.